My name is Jennifer Cook. I'm the CSU Extension Gilpin County Director, and I have had such a wonderful summer hanging out with Katie Lamb and Maria Delgado from CSU. So Katie was our intern this summer, and also Jamie Boyle, who is Central City. We've all been a team working together on this project. So I'm just super thankful that you brought this program to our county. I guess I'll just kind of let Maria and Katie introduce the project from here.
Sounds great. Yes, thank you for that. So hopefully you can all hear us online. Basically, the project spurred from throughout COVID. We were thinking about students not being able to access buildings, just having that restricted, limited access. And so from there, utilizing this technology that Katie's going to get into, we thought about developing some sort of public online library where we can promote architecture and promote architecture education. So Katie is an undergraduate student in the interior architecture program, and it has been a wonderful intern. So I'm excited she's going to be talking about her entire experience this semester. So Katie, with that, take it away. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So nice to see everyone online and so many familiar faces in here. We have a lot of building owners in here, so that's fabulous. Just wanted to kind of share what we did in all the buildings. And then after that's done, we'll take a virtual tour of a few of them. And we even have an Oculus headset that we can actually go into VR and see your spaces from there. So just to talk a little bit about the project, we're going to do an overview of the project background, the project details, and the project demo. Build a project background. I'm going to do a review of mission, what the CSU AVL is all about, and what the goal of this project was. So the CSU Office of Extension, I'm a part of the CSU Office of Extension. Our partner is Jennifer Cook here at the Gilpin County Extension Office. The mission is that through outreach and engagement, we engage, serve, and work in partnerships with committees to continue knowledge, addressing the needs of today and tomorrow. So through that, we're trying to bring history into the 21st century. CSU AVL project ends as an online website that is fully publicly accessible by anyone, anywhere. In 2021, this project did the Colorado State University buildings and also Sterling, Colorado. And then this year in 2022, we did Central City and also the historic buildings of Fort Collins, Colorado. Funding. Funding is brought by the Office of Extension and Engagement. This year, they went from 60 interns to 81 interns, so it was a record year, which was amazing. We even had 2 interns in this very program, which was fabulous. I was the one in Central City, and then Amanda Spritzer, who Jamie and Jennifer met, did Fort Collins. There are 3 stages to this project. The first was, of course, researching the buildings. We took a lot of time to really figure out which buildings in Central City we wanted to cover, how we wanted to cover them, and why we wanted to cover them. So that was really important to get the real scope of the town and the history of the town itself. The second step, of course, 3D documenting of the buildings. Y'all watched me do it with the fancy camera over there, spinning about and me hiding under things, which was very fun. And then third is embedding the research. And that's what I'm really excited to show you guys tonight. We have tags embedded, historical facts, pictures, and it's going to be really fun. So I can't wait to show you that. A list of the buildings we did. We did the Central City Opera House, the Teller House, St. James Methodist Church, thank you, Gail, the Gilpin History Museum or the Old High School, the Coeur d'Alene Mine, the Thomas House, the Masonic Lodge, Weekly Register Call, and Irma's Emporium, thank you, Danny, and the Gilpin County Courthouse, thank you, Ray, and Washington Hall. So we really did quite a wide spread of buildings in Central City. Looking at building type by owner, we did 22% of the buildings we covered were owned by the Central City Opera House Association. Another 22% was owned by the County of Gilpin. 34% was the Gilpin Historical Society. 11% was private. And then another 11% was the County of Gilpin. So we really tried to diversify our buildings on owner and type as well. Let's go into project details. So we're going to look at the website and some of the technology used. So technology used was the Matterport 2 camera. Once we wrap up the presentation, I'll do a little demo. but most of you have already seen me use it. It's basically a 360-degree camera that captures 360 data and then imports that into a stitchable virtual tour. Here's an example of Washington Hall. We have a matter tag right here, and then the little information that pops up about William Cousins. And we can see more of that when we look at the tours themselves. The legend, we actually added 2 new colors this year to sort of largen our view of what we're covering. We covered a lot more of the town's history in this year's project, which was really exciting. So you'll see the legend here. We've got published articles in gray, architectural materials and features in dark green, pictures are going to be in gold, floor plans are in orange, historical facts are in light green, and then we've embedded some videos as well that are going to be in teal as you walk through. So you'll be able to understand what you're clicking on when and what you want to watch, which is very exciting. The website, which we'll take a look at also after the presentation, can be found on the CSU Architectural Virtual Library. There's 4 cities currently up: Colorado State buildings, Sterling, Fort Collins, and Central City. And that went live this morning. So you guys can all check it out on your own time as well, which will be very exciting. We have a survey as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Whenever you go online, you can fill out a survey and tell how your experience has either helped you or what you've learned from it. So a really quick project demo of the Matterport 2 camera. So there I am in the Weekly Register Hall building, in the beautiful house, in the beautiful room that was decorated by the Keller House furniture, which is very, very fun. And with the Matterport, do we want to do it now or after? Maybe at the end. Maybe at the end. Okay, so we'll do the Matterport at the end because we have too many devices going right now. So we'll do that one right at the very end. Looking at the Matterport interface, you can access any of the scans at any time that you want. And there's actually even embeds in there where you can flip from scan to scan. So for example, in the county courthouse, there is a link to go all the way to Washington Hall to discover this county's first county courthouse. So they're very cool, and they're all interconnected with each other, which is very fun. So looking at one, this is a screenshot of the Coeur d'Alene mine. And we actually have the Coeur d'Alene mine set up in VR tonight, so you guys can actually enter them and engage with that. But you can see all of the tags that we have in here. These little white circles are the ones that you follow on the tour, so it's like you're hopping from place to place. You can have a 360 view and then click on all of these interesting things to learn facts and history about the Coeur d'Alene mine. As part of the internship, I also developed educational materials that correspond with these scans. So I have 3 and they're available tonight as well and also on the website. They're totally free educational materials you can do at home. If you're a teacher and need some inspiration, want to use these, go ahead and grab them and use them in your classroom. It's really great enrichment. I have 3 grade levels. We have a 3 through 5. That's going to be the Coeur d'Alene mine, about 30 minutes this will take. And it's a mining equipment crossword puzzle. So for those of you that are here, we have those in the back if you want to take a look at it. You go through the Coeur d'Alene mine, and by clicking on tags, you'll learn the answers to the crossword puzzle clues. So you're learning about the building while also engaging in a fun activity. And that's for grades about 3 through 5. For grades 6 through 8, we have one, what does my local government do? And that's all about the Gilpin County Courthouse. This will take about 45 minutes or so. And it's going around the county courthouse, finding all the different offices for all of the different occupations and careers in your county government, finding out what they do, finding out where they're located and what they can do for you and what they do for your town. So if you're having a civics problem and you want to look and teach your kids about their local government, this is a really great worksheet to use. The last one is Symbolism and Artistic Tour of Central City. That's for 9th through 12th graders, and it's an art tour of Central City that actually covers 3 buildings. The Teller House is in it, the Masonic Hall is in it, and also St. James United Methodist Church. So in the Teller House, you'll be able to see the beautiful murals in the face bar that actually each have an imperfection in them that you have to find. In the Masonic Hall, you'll explore the incredible array of art that they have in their main hall. There's symbolism all over it. You can find and discover it and learn a bit about the Masons. And in St. James United Methodist Church, it's a beautiful tour of the stained glass windows and the symbolism of the Methodist Church represented in those windows. So again, that's for high schoolers, about an hour. And that was really fun because you're going to a bunch of different tours all at the same time. Before I end and ask questions, I just want to say a special thanks to my mentor, Dr. Maria Delgado, Jennifer and Jamie, who have been awesome in Central City, and all the building owners, Dave Forsyth, Eric Chin, Eric Miller, Gail and Mike Keeler, Greg Graham, Gregory, Danny Thomason, and Robbie Zuma for their help and support with this project. So with that, I'm going to open it up to some quick questions, and then we'll hit the demos and the VR. So does anyone have any questions? Or on Zoom, put them in the chat if you have a question. Yes, Jamie.
Katie, as you were researching and exploring the buildings, did you find any favorite spots or favorite most interesting facts about Central City?
Oh gosh. Oh, so many. What do I pick? I definitely think the most surprising building was the Masonic Lodge. That was so cool to go in with all that incredible art inside. And learning about the Masons was really fascinating. Knowing that this was one of the first towns like actually settled in Colorado was very cool. That they have the oldest Protestant church ever in Colorado, that's amazing. And I mean, just the fact that this started as a boom town and then it died and then it was revitalized through opera. It's like, what? This is a mining town. And so it was just fascinating to see how arts and culture has changed through the years, but Central City still remains remarkably Central City. And so that was very touching. And it's been such a warm welcome from all the residents and citizens. So that's been wonderful. Yeah, Danny.
Katie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Were you able to capture all of the ghosts on your?
You know, I didn't capture any ghosts. However, I think Jennifer and I ran into a ghost in the Coeur d'Alene mine because the camera took a tumble and it was totally set up. So I don't know what happened there. But unfortunately, no ghosts. I didn't hear the crying girl in the basement of the courthouse, but I know that. And no one stole my shoes at the opera house. But I was hoping to so bad to run into ghosts.
So you didn't
but
see the lady in yellow at the opera, at the Teller House,
no.
or the lady in white? You didn't see any?
I didn't see any ghosts. I was super bummed. I got so many ghost stories and I was so ready. I knew, I was like, when I was in the courthouse at 8 o'clock at night scanning old jail cells, I was like, come on, ghost, come on, this is the time. But unfortunately, no, maybe next time. All right. If there's no more questions, we can move on to the in-person demonstrations. And the VR. So thank you.
I'm thinking, do you want to bring the camera a little closer and do the demo here? Just so that,
Sure. Yeah, I can do that for the online.
yeah. And then we can transition to VR.
So
On the chat.
The link on the chat. Oh, yes, I can put that on there.
yeah.
Let me hit
And then
escape.
for
I
those of
think.
you online, Dr. Delgado is going to add the link to the website so you can explore at home all of the 9 buildings that we did in Central City, which will be very fun.
You're gonna take us through a building.
I am. Yep, we're gonna go through a building here in person, and then we've got VR and we've got more computers set up that you can explore anything you want. I'll take us through one of the buildings that are here.
Oh, Apple is not Control V. Command, yeah. Command C. Yeah, thank you. And then Command V. Okay, great. Link has been posted.
All right. So with regards to the camera, how it works is it is a 3D camera that's going to spin and it's attached to an iPad. And these cameras are absolutely amazing because they auto sync themselves. It has a built-in internet. It's very cool. And it knows where it is GPS wise. So all it does is I push a button and then it's going to spin. I love it. And then it's going to spin. Each scan takes approximately 30 seconds. And normally I wouldn't be standing right in front of it, but it's just a test. Although I have stood in front of it before. I had to delete those. So as you can see, it takes 30 seconds. And once the scan is complete, it'll appear here in, there we go, in this really weird looking form. I'll show those to the audience at home. It looks very strange when you only have one scan. But what happens after that is you move 6 feet in one direction and you just keep going and going and going and going until you have a full laser image of the room itself. It's really absolutely fascinating technology. One place you may have seen this used is if you're on Zillow and you're looking for a home and it says you want to go on a virtual tour. One of these is most likely used to create that virtual tour. There is an app for your cell phone that you can make your own virtual tours with a cell phone. They're not as good, but they do still get the job done, which is very cool if you want to try it at home. Matterport is the company. So yeah, any questions about the camera and kind of how that works?
If I were to buy this camera, how much would this camera?
Yes.
It was like 2,500 on a sale.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, reasonable, and they do different sales at different times.
I thought it'd be more.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, no, and the good thing is if you want to get started on it, it's good to test it out on your phone, because when you create a Matterport account, you always get like one free space, if you will, that you can showcase. But then if you want to start to build and have more, then that's kind of where they get you, because then you have to have a subscription, and that's a monthly subscription in order to be able to host as many buildings as you want.
How long did it take you to do the average building?
So the quickest one was Washington Hall. That took me an hour. The Teller House took me 16 hours. So it depends, but that's the difference between 1,000 square feet and 40,000 square feet. So yeah, and it depends how many different little rooms you have. The courthouse is interesting because some of it was like super open, and then others was in like, you're in like these little nooks and crannies. So I would probably say 1,000 square feet an hour is about what I can cover. And then in the Teller House, I was going fast, which was fun. So yeah, it was fun to learn the different duration that you can take with this
I think
camera.
when you were at the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
To do the lodge room and the dining room and kitchen, and then down on the second floor, the old register call.
Yeah.
Printing area. I think you and Maria got there around noon. and
Yep.
Left around 5 or 5:30. It was a long afternoon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's with two people.
And that's with two
So,
people.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was moving
Two
fast.
floors,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
You went back to rooms after that.
Yep, and then we went back to Irma's. Yeah, so, and it really depends like on the brightness of the place. So like Coeur d'Alene mine, which was the smallest, ended up taking 2 hours because of the light, because we had to keep figuring out where to put the lights and kept moving everything. And so it's definitely an involved process for sure. But it's very, very fun. And it's easy to get into. Once you learn it, you're like, okay, I got it. But it is hysterical when you're in a very small place in a historic building and there's nowhere way to walk around it. So you're literally hiding under the camera as the thing scans. I've been seen in some very strange positions by some people, or when you're going up the stairs and you're hiding under it, and then someone asks you, "Are you okay?" You're like, "Yep, but I got to redo the scan." Yeah, Jamie.
I'm wondering what you learned from using this technology and how you think you can use it in your future work.
I've thought so much about that. It was interesting we asked how much it was, because I've been looking at one of these because I want to be an interior designer, and using one of these to showcase your work, especially when you do it on like the commercial level, is absolutely amazing. And having just the ability to use a technology like this, because I was intimidated at first. You know, I'm a millennial, but you wouldn't know it with my technology skills. It was a very easy process to learn. A very, very, very nice software. And then once you even go in after that and do the after edits and everything like that, it's a very simple software to work with. So like if I ever open my own design company, I'm getting one to showcase that so people can do virtual tours of my design up the website. If I go into historic preservation work, I'm taking before and afters, you know, with the Matterport camera so you can see the restoration happen. Like I want to do that with the Belvedere so bad. Yeah. And yeah, so oh my gosh, I just see so many different implications and I'm very, very, very happy that I learned this skill.
Something I'd love to add, Katie's in her second year, but
Yes.
when she becomes in her third year, the students learn a 3D modeling program called Revit, which is like the primary program used. And so Revit has a workflow interface with actual Matterport. So you could do a scan, embed that into the 3D model, and then build from there. So like, it's so much faster than like having to scan and do traditional types of asphalt. So that's something I don't know, you know, that's something that's coming in the future. So what people are doing now, but
That's
in your
exciting.
future.
In my future. Yeah. Well, and technology is the future. I mean, they're using VR in construction now and in design to help people visualize what their design is going to look like. Because so many times, you know, you see a designer walking, it's like, okay, the kitchen's gonna go here. We're gonna put this wall up here. We're gonna knock down this wall. And people are like, huh? You know, because they can't see it. It's very difficult to see. And so technology like this is being used to sort of image it so people can put it on and actually be in the space and look at what that's going to look like, which I think is the future of our field. So it'll be really interesting to see where that goes. Yeah.
Are you going to do Belvedere? That'd be amazing to see like how it is now and how it could be. That'd be amazing.
The funny thing is, we discussed doing that.
Oh, it's such
for the
length.
Buildings.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like in its current state, it would make a good display. I felt like there were better candidates for this particular project.
That makes sense, but just to see what historic preservation money could do and the before and after, because at some point, it's going to be a beautiful building.
Yes.
And people won't fully appreciate it unless they
Right.
actually see how
Bad it is.
bad it is now.
Can we have a conversation about
I was
it?
like, we could totally talk about it. And
Yeah.
the thing is, it might even be good for like networking or applying for grants and then putting that link in there to show
To show how bad it
severity
was.
of it.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a presentation at the Saving Places conference after it's done. It's like, this is the state of the building now. After it's done,
Yeah.
what we did. I think that would be amazing.
It's a really interesting idea because I know just by looking at the outside of the Belvedere, then when Jamie took us in, I was shocked
I know.
because the outside looked, oh, okay, it's a little old, maybe run down. And then we go inside and I'm like, oh my goodness, like it was really bad state. And so it might help people to visualize all the hard work that goes into it and all the money that goes into it.
Do you want to take the architectural plans and specs and generate a 3D model of what it'll look like when it's done?
Yes, I may have the ability to do that in 1 year. Asking my software teacher who's sitting in front of me.
I
I
have
was
a
like,
great project for you
I was
next
gonna say,
year.
that's an interesting project.
That's
we should
actually
talk about.
a very interesting
Yeah,
project. So that'd be- yeah, well, I mean, so possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
They really are. So,
Awesome.
all right, well, thank you, everyone. All right, so we'll, I think we'll say goodbye to the
Yes, I
say goodbye
just,
to the people online. In the chat, there is a link to the website. Please explore on your own all the 9 buildings. They're very fun. Check out Fort Collins, Sterling, and Colorado State as well. They're all really fun. So thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful night. And then everyone that's here, let's walk through a building and do some VR. All right.
so
All
I
right. So I'm gonna pull
stopped
up.
sharing.
Okay.
and
So we've got, oh, sorry, Jennifer, it's locked again. All right, so we've got courthouse, Masonic Hall,